What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Any Striper fans? You know we got to make it to the chorus. There's a battle. I can't hit that high note. Only Michael Sweet can do that. Everybody get the fuck up. With the devil. Fuck yeah, let's go. I shouldn't be saying the F word with Striper playing. How is everybody doing? Man, I missed you guys. I was on call last week. And man, I almost thought about going live, but man, last week, guys, I had 19 hours of on call. That's after my normal work day. I got 19 hours worth of calls. Jesus. And I'm telling you, I was exhausted at the end of it all. So I'm glad to be off of call. It's really nice. It's really nice. Any Striper fans in there? Aaron Click says he's not a big Striper fan, but I get the appeal. I like a lot of the hair bands. Aaron, man, I grew up in the 80s. I was a teenager in the 80s. So I was big on a lot of those hair bands, you know? It was fun. That's pretty much what it all boils down to. Hair metal bands were just really fun, you know? And then, not to knock, you know, there's 90s great rock, there's 2000s. 90s come in, and rock started getting really deep and heavy and sometimes sad. And, you know, sometimes you want that stuff. But, in the 80s, it was just like, hey, we don't got time to be sad. Let's party. You know, that's just how it was. And it was just a great time to be alive. It was a really great time to be alive. I miss it because I knew once it was over, it wasn't coming back. It would never, ever come back like it did, you know? Yeah, we would get a resurgence of those bands via the those festivals and whatnot, but you don't see any new hair metal bands coming out, you know? I mean, just sparse. Like, very rarely do you see any new hair metal bands. So, yeah, it's it's a time I was glad to be alive and be a teenager, right? And I enjoyed every second of it. My memories, I have so many great memories of it. And I just got through eating. Yeah. Don't get me started on music. All right, I'll start going down a rabbit hole now. And don't think that I just like hair metal. I love all different types of music. I can listen to just about everything. You know. Let me say my hellos. Rosalia, how are you doing? Brett, Good Real Honey, Aaron, Davey, Death Ray, how are you doing, brother? Mega Cat, Charlotte, how you doing, Charlotte? Brandon, Wayne Lewis. Jamie Webster, that horror guy, Richard Strange, Johnny Utah. He said, let me answer a question. Hold on. Lee, what do you think is the best reboot? Cobra Kai for me, No Mercy. I almost thought you were saying Cobra. And I was like, is there going to be a Cobra reboot? Man, that's tough. That's really tough. I think you mean it's almost kind of like requel, right? That's pretty much what you mean by reboot, because Cobra Kai still, you know, the original Karate Kid is definitely canon with all that. So, yeah, Cobra Kai is great. That's a really great answer. I guess you could say like Creed is kind of in that vein, you know, the Creed movies. Although I definitely prefer the Rocky movies. That's just me. Don't get me wrong. I like the Creed movies, but what do you guys think? Are there any like horror reboots that you really love that still acknowledge the originals? You could even say that the Friday remake, it's kind of a reboot because we don't know how old Jason is, right? And all those movies from the past, they could still exist, you know? So, yeah. Polly, how are you doing? Chad, what's up, brother, for all things horror? Matt, Chris Fluff, how you doing? Chris, he says he's not going to be able to be at Spooky Empire. Damn it. Man, I'm looking forward to freaking Spooky Empire. They got the... Trina, how you doing? I didn't see you in there, Trina. They got a lot of the Halloween alumni coming to Spooky Empire. I should have uploaded the... Man, I've been busy today. But, so I don't have like any slides loaded or anything like that. You know, I just thought I'd just go live and we could do like a Q&A, but I will still have a ranking tonight. But yeah, we all know that H45 is happening. I wanted to go to that so freaking bad. But the cars just weren't, stars weren't aligned. Jesus. I'm getting my phrases mixed up. But then right after I found out that I couldn't go, I noticed that they started announcing all these Halloween stars coming to Spooky Empire. And I was like, yes. I mean, I think there's like at least like 6 or 7 of them. I know you got like Daniel Harris, you got Scout Taylor Compton, you got Nancy Loomis Keys, you got Charles Cyphers, you got Kathleen Kinmont. That's 5. And I think there's one or two others, but I'm going to take my box set up there. I'm going to take my box set and get that signed. Dave wants me to talk about Striper. Oh my God. Well, I will say, Rosemary, how are you doing? I will say I was a big Striper, still a big Striper fan back in the day. For me, it was all about the music. That's what got me in the door. I like good lyrics. I like a good message. Obviously, Striper was a Christian rock band. But for me, the first thing that's going to get me in the door is the music. And I loved Striper's music, It was metal, but it had a little bit of a lighter tone to it. But they just had really great songs, too, Really great songs. Matter of fact, I have on vinyl, I have Soldiers Under Command, which is a great album, really great album. I found it at one of these flea markets. Yes, Brett, I am definitely coming to Spooky Empire this year. I don't know if it's going to be a Saturday or Sunday, but I will definitely be there this year. I'm looking forward to it. Chris Jan, you a Skid Row fan at all? That's funny you say that, Chris. Hold on. My last vinyl I just bought literally days ago. Guys, if you get a chance, stop by Walmart, okay? Because there's a lot of, it'll say like Walmart exclusive, stuff like that. They got a lot of exclusives, and I found this Skid Row, 180 gram. It's a colored vinyl. It's red, but sounds really good. But man, I grew up on, this is a great album. I wish I had Slave to the Grind, which is an even better album, but this is still really, really great. Striper. Big fan of Striper. I like Against the Law. They released Against the Law right before the whole Nirvana thing happened. And there was kind of a nice little transition into that harder stuff like Nirvana because, and Dave Vanderhoff can probably attest to this. If you remember, like in the late 80s, a lot of those hair metal bands were starting to get edgier. And that's where you got like Slave to the Grind, which debuted at number 1 on the Billboard charts, by the way. Motley Crue was starting to get a little heavier. Just every band, that was the thing to do even before Nirvana hit. It felt like, I think it's because of like Pantera, Metallica, and so the music started kind of blending into each other a little bit. Even Poison, they started ditching their like the girly look that they had for a more kind of no makeup, jeans and t-shirt type look. Not really t-shirt, but you know what I mean? So there was kind of a segue into Nirvana. It wasn't just an abrupt type deal. So yeah. But Slave to the Grind, boy, that's an amazing album. Every freaking song, for sure. We're definitely going to do a live ranking tonight. Remember last time, guys, we did a live ranking, and you guys enjoyed that. It was really fun. I let you guys pick. Tonight you're going to pick. But the caveat for tonight is that you are going to pick from Scream, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Friday the 13th. Okay, we'll do top 10. Do we want to do 12 or do we want to do 15? Do we want to do 2 honorable mentions or 5 honorable mentions? I'll let you pick. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Okay. Now, I didn't know, Megacat, I didn't say Pantera was a hair band. What I'm saying was, like, Metallica's not a hair band. There were these bands that started kind of blending in to the hair. It's like, here you got like, well, I guess if you're looking, you got like hair metal, and here's Nirvana, right? Okay? Hair metal, Nirvana. So, imagine I got 3 hands. Not 3 legs, but 3 hands. And this thing over here is Metallica, Pantera, Slayer, Megadeth. Imagine that's over the top, kind of segueing this bridge right here, okay? Does that make sense? So you had those bands started getting really big in like the late 80s for some reason. Well, I mean, I know the reason. They're great bands. But Pantera was glam rock, like Galford said, back in the early 80s for sure. But they just weren't big at the time. You know, nobody knew of them. So I think, you know what? Since we're talking music a little bit, I'll say I think Pantera, sometimes timing is important. Yeah, they're talented as hell. They're groundbreaking, but I think they got heavy at the perfect time. Pantera did, because they weren't big before they got heavy. I think if Pantera would have been as successful as other hair bands, it would have hurt them. It would have hurt them because other bands did try to go heavy, but it didn't sustain. Whereas Pantera, as soon as they went heavy, boom, they were big. You know, before they went heavy, who's Pantera, right? Does that make sense to you guys? Do you agree with that? So, like, again, it's a blessing in disguise that they didn't, like, make it, like, quote unquote, fully make it before they went heavy. You know, like Cowboys from Hell. Because that album is full, four to the floor. What's the word? What's the phrase I'm looking for? Jesus. I can't think and talk at the same time. Yeah. Don't make you guys. Dave Vanderhoff wanted me to talk about music. Rust in Peace. Yeah, man, that's a freaking album right there. Or Rust in Peace is great. Countdown to Extinction is great. Horn Coffee's great. Yeah. Man, poor Megadeth, right? Countdown to Extinction comes out. It should have been number 1, but it was. Guys, what was the album that Countdown to Extinction was beaten out by? Was it Whitney Houston or was it Michael Jackson? I can't remember. There was an album that beat out Countdown to Extinction. And poor Dave Mustaine, you know, because he was just so hurt by Metallica, and he, you know, everything was competition. He wanted to bury them. He wanted to beat them. And this was his chance. And, you know, Metallica debuted at number 1 with the Black Album. He debuted at number 2. You know, and he debuted at number 2. That's great. But, yeah, Michael Jackson. Thank you, Brandon. I thought it was Michael Jackson. But, yeah, pretty brutal for Mega. Guys, answer me this, okay, for my metalheads in there. Right? Better album. What is the better album? And really think about this, okay? Is it the Black Album or is it Countdown to Extinction? Is it the Black Album or Countdown to Extinction? I'll tell you my answer in just a bit. I'll tell you, but I want to see what you guys think first. All right? Now, I'm telling you, you guys, I like to keep my audience active, all right? We got black. My friend's father is in a band called Hitman from the 80s. Played Metallica when they still had Mustang. Whoa, that's freaking, holy shit, Chris. That's big. Countdown, Black Album is a sonic masterpiece. Once you go black, Countdown. Well, here's my answer, guys, and I'm not trying to be edgy or cool, but it's Countdown to Extinction. But that's not to take anything away from the Black Album. I think the Black Album's great. I have it on vinyl, which is funny. I don't have Countdown to Extinction on vinyl. I need to look that up. I need to see if I can find it because I do have the Black Album. But I think the Black Album might be the better produced album. But Countdown to Extinction, I think pound for pound, it's got better songs, right? Like every song on that album is just freaking Megadeth awesomeness, you know? So, and maybe some of maybe the Black Album was kind of overplayed too, you know? Like that, back in the day, man, they played the hell out of that album, just constantly. And they had like 5 or 6 big hits off of that album. So, yeah. Damn, it's good to be with you guys. I might clip that out. Did you guys check out my Saw 2 review? But guys, by the way, happy October Eve. We're getting close to October. Are you guys excited? As a matter of fact, while I got you here, you're welcome, Vinny. And it was kind of I'm horrible with franchise reviews. I'll admit that right now. I can never stay on target, as they would say in Star Wars. Stay on target. I always end up veering off somewhere. I know. I'm already predicting it right now. I won't finish the Saw reviews. All right. I'm hoping I will. I got Saw 3 recorded, so at least you're getting that. But I'm gonna try to get at least 4 and 5 out before Saw X. We'll see what happens. But let me go over here. First, let me set this up. And then if I go over here. Speaking of, have some of you guys already started watching horror movies? Like, trying to get one like every night, maybe every other night? Let me go over here. And that it? Yeah, there it is. That. There we go. Yeah. So, over on Killer Flicks, we have the annual 31 Days of Halloween, or horror, whatever we call it. And if I scan down a little bit here, we can see what some people have been watching. And post in the comments what you guys have been watching, all right? See, Jess Hogan says, watch Resident Evil Death Island, Zombies on Alcatraz. Oh, that must be like an animated movie. Let's see if I go down. Yeah. Alec Theron, he says, I just watched Renfield for the first time. Yeah, Renfield's fun. Really fun. Brian says, was it Perpetrator? I've seen that poster, but I've never seen the movie. Chance saw Wrath of Becky. That one's a fun one. Liked it. Lacey Lou, she saw Cabin in the Woods. Let's see. What else? I still need to watch Hell House LLC, SD Price. Haven't watched that. And so many of you guys tell me you need to check it out. So I do need to check it out. Happy birthday to me, Texas Chainsaw 3D. Yeah, a lot of variety there, guys. Jason Prouty, he's got a list there that he's putting together. Cool. What have you guys been watching? Have you been watching anything this week? I'm trying to, let me go like way down. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I can show you what I watched over the last week. Going up. Yeah, here you go. So, I watched It Lives Inside, which was it's a creature feature. It's a kind of like one of those cultural horror movies because it involves this like Indian family, and one of those like religious curses and whatnot. It was pretty cool. Halloween Kills, and actually I did Halloween 2000. I did the whole David Gordon Green trilogy. And boy, did I have a blast with this trilogy. I think maybe it helps to watch it all back to back, after it's all said and done. And I'll even say, like, Ends kind of blends in better with it now after I've watched all 3 back to back. I don't know, but what do you guys think? Have you guys tried to watch all 3 back to back? As a matter of fact, I watched 78. I watched 78 and then the David Gordon Green trilogy. And it flowed very well. I must admit, it did flow very well. Let me see what you guys have been watching. I hit the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. Dr. Sleep, Jamie Webster, Dr. Sleep. You know, it's funny you mentioned Dr. Sleep. Because I go through my comments. I try to answer comments every day. And every now and then, like an old review will get some comments. Just out of the blue. And for some reason, like these past couple of weeks, I got a few extra comments on Dr. Sleep. And here's the thing. It was a new release. I reviewed it like right when it came out. And I didn't really give it the best review. And the bad thing about that is years and years later, after you've let a movie settle in and you've watched it a few more times and you come to like appreciate it or maybe even get it, you still get those comments thinking that that's how you still feel. And this has happened a couple of times with me, with that one, with the first Terrifier. And luckily for the first Terrifier, I went back and did a revisited because my opinion changed on the movie. But, you know, it's frustrating and first world problems, but because you got to go in there and answer them and say, hey, just so you know, I've watched the movie quite a few times since, and now I actually love it, you know? But people all, you know, when they see that, so maybe I should like pin a comment on those older reviews if my mind changes. I don't know, because now when I watch Dr. Sleep, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? This movie is phenomenal. And, you know, it could have been one of those things too. Like, you guys ever go to a movie and you're just like really, really tired? I don't remember if I was, but that's possible. There have been times when I've went to a movie and I'm like, it's been a long day work. I didn't get much sleep the night before. And I'm excited for the movie, but I'm just like really, really exhausted. And that can affect my enjoyment of the movie. And I hate having to put out a review for a movie that I'm tired while I'm watching. And sometimes you kind of have to adjust, you know, I don't know, like, would I probably like this movie better if I was like fully awake? So that's the one regret. Cause I think funny enough, the movie's called Dr. Sleep, but I think I was kind of tired when I watched it. So yeah. I got a couple of news stories I want to get to. And by the way, if you guys have any like, this is a hangout. So if you guys want to ask any like horror questions or whatever, stuff like that, I'll be popping back and forth looking at the chat, and if I see anything, I'll be happy to answer them. Okay? Love hanging out with you guys. All right. What's up, Ozzy? How are you doing? Let's go. Brooke Scarlett, how are you doing? Nice to see you in here. She says I'll check that one out. Rosie, which one did Rosie recommend? Quarantine. I still haven't seen Quarantine either. I need to check that. Isn't that a remake of Wreck? A remake of Wreck? I think so. Sebastian says, did you enjoy Rob Zombie's The Monsters? I've been thinking about watching it. No, I didn't. And you know what? I think it comes down to the writing because there's a lot of attempts at comedy. And I think the jokes just really fall flat in the movie. The story's not really compelling. And so you really got nothing to latch on to. And it was painful. If I'm being honest, it was very, very painful. And I was excited because I remember it came to Netflix and I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to watch The Monsters. How bad could it be? It's a beautiful looking movie. I'll give him that. But, you know, I'm not a Rob Zombie hater. I like about half his movies. All right. I'll say that. But yeah, this one wasn't for me. Bronson Wright, Wolf, how are you doing? He says, what is your favorite Johnny Depp, Tim Burton movie? I'm asking about the movies they collaborated on together. I don't know if this is the right answer, but I really did like Sweeney Todd. And what's funny is I'm not a big fan of like musicals. I'm very picky when it comes to musicals. But Sweeney Todd was highly entertaining and quite bloody, actually. I'm a big fan of Tim Burton when he joins forces with Johnny Depp. And I can't think of a movie that they did together that I don't like. I mean, of course, Edward Scissorhands is phenomenal. Sleepy Hollow is really good. So it's hard for me to answer what's my favorite. Maybe it is Edward Scissorhands. That's a classic, right? Yeah. So, just another horror fan says Sleepy Hollow for me. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow's, that's another one that's got some like really dark, heavy stuff in it. I think Christopher Walken is really good in it. He's creepy. He's always creepy if he does like horror movies. You don't really see Christopher Walken that much anymore, you know? I got a stream of consciousness going right now. Jesus. But finishing my thought on what I watched. Oh, hold on. Oh, Jeff Neal, how you doing? He says, Lee, I know I'm late. I finally got ends on 4K. Do you think the deleted scenes and ends should have stayed? I think so. You know, I was thinking about rewatching the deleted scenes, but I think it's like an alternate take on Corey when he first gets down in that sewer. And it's kind of like from the side and you see like Myers standing in the distance. I think it's a much better scene than the one we got. But, you know, I'm glad you mentioned ends because I will say, guys, I'm about halfway through the novelization. And I mean, if you have not seen, I'll say that if you've not read the novelization, and by the way, I'm not a reader. I don't read that much, okay? Everybody has their hobbies, right? I'm just not a big reader. But I wanted to read this novelization because I heard there's a lot of differences. And boy, are there. And I think the story is so much better fleshed out. Those that complain about not enough Myers or not enough Myers kills or badass Myers, oh boy, you will be happy with the novelization, all right? And not only great Myers kills, but also story-centric. Like, as far as like learning how Myers got to that sewer, I mean, they freaking ABC that shit. And you find out exactly how he ended up in that sewer, how he ended up with a dead arm. And I'll say, when I went back and I watched Halloween Ends again yesterday, as much as I loved the movie, I loved it even more having read just half of the novelization. I still got the other half to go. But a lot of things made even more sense to me after reading the novelization. Okay? Yeah, Trina, I'm definitely doing a video about it as soon as I get done. But I will say I'll probably clip out this little section and put it on over on Drumdums Extra. If you haven't subscribed to my second channel, definitely do. Just to give you a little taste of what the novelization is about. Also, I mean, Corey. You learn a lot more about Corey as a character, who he is as a person. Because I think the movie, you get the idea of who he is, but I still think it kind of scratches the surface. But the novel goes really deep into Corey's upbringing and why the evil chose him. And it just makes so much more sense. Even when he is attacked by the band geeks, bullies. Knowing his backstory, that whole situation makes much more sense because Corey is highly introverted and he avoids any kind of like, not just confrontation, but interaction. So that is stressed highly in the novelization. All right. Also, you're going to learn more about Corey's, like his mother and that weird situation with her. Some surprising developments there. Lori. A lot of interesting little nuggets with Lori. Great. You remember in the producer's cut of Halloween how there's a little bit more dialogue between the characters as opposed to the theatrical cut? It's like that on steroids, okay? But I think the reason they didn't make an exact duplicate of the novelization is because you'd have a 3-hour movie, okay? And let me just say this. If they would have been able to convey the exact, beats of the novelization, however long that movie would be, it would be one of the best slasher movies I've ever seen. All right, I'm going to say that right now. And I know I'm going to get freaking tomatoes thrown at me for saying stuff like that from the Ends haters. And I'm probably not going to change the mind of the Ends haters, but I will say this. If the Ends haters read the novel, I bet some of them would come around to the movie. I really do. I think they would have a better understanding of what they're trying to achieve in the movie. All right? So Yeah. Look for that, though. I will do a full, pre-produced breakdown of the novelization, but I'll clip this little section out here just to give you a taste, I guess. All right? So, yeah. Can I pay you for a review of Anna and the... No, you don't have to pay me. I will make sure I get a review for Anna and the Apocalypse. That's a Christmas movie, so I'll do it in December, okay? I'll do it in December. All right. Blu-ray Addict, favorite film of the year so far. You know me, I do get knee-jerk with things sometimes, but what was it? What's the new Alien Invasion movie? I always forget the name of it, and it happens to be like one of the best movies of the year. Guys, what's it called? Don't something safe. I can't. What guys? What is it? Tell me now, please. I don't want to look it up. No one will save you. Thank you, Brett. Yeah, no one will save you. I can't say for sure, but it might be the best movie of the year. It might be the best movie of the year. I kind of get what they're going for with the ending of the movie. That's the ending that everybody's like, I don't know. That's kind of a weird ending. I get where they're going. I think there should have been a different ending, and maybe that's what's holding me back. But it's either that or, God damn, is it Talk to Me? I'm having the biggest freaking brain fart. Jesus. Is it Talk to Me? Is that what I'm thinking of? The A24 movie? It's Talk to Me, right? Yes, Talk to Me. It might be Talk to Me still, though. All right. Have a good night, Trina. Put those kids to bed. All right. Talk to Me. Yeah, thank you. Jesus. As a matter of fact, I was chatting with Jason from Sinister Cinema Reviews today. We definitely want to get together and do like a recap of horror for the year and maybe what's coming. We just got to get our schedules in line. But look for within the next, I would say, month, we'll be getting together because we did a stream together a few years ago when I think it was 2021 horror. I swear time flies by so fast, But I was chatting with him today, and yeah, we agreed we need to get together again and do that because it's a fun discussion. Brett says Scream 6 is my favorite horror of the year. Evil Dead Rise is second. Evil Dead Rise I think Evil Dead Rise is number 3. I really loved Evil Dead Rise. I thought it was really fun. Really fun. One thing about that, I don't care if I'm controversial. All right. The whole trans thing on Evil Dead Rise, like, first off, when I saw the movie, I didn't even know that the Daniel kid was trans. So they didn't really trumpet it at me, let alone try to shove it down my throat. But I honestly think some people just got upset that there was an actual trans character, which most horror fans, we're not that stupid, We don't like stuff shoved down our throats, but luckily in horror, you don't usually get that as much. It happens from time to time. I think it did happen with Black Christmas Remake. But guys, do you agree with me on this? In a horror movie, you can have any character that you want. I don't care what type of character. They can have 8 legs. I don't care. They can be purple. Us horror fans, we don't care what nationality you are, what religion, what color. We just want a good story. That's all we want at the end of the day, and we don't want anything shoved down our throats, okay? But I swear, I still to this day see people, they get upset that there's a trans character in that movie, and it's just the strangest thing to me because nothing's pushed on you, They definitely stick to the horror, so I don't know. It's really weird. Bronson, I got a couple more super chats here. Hold on. Bronson says, there are a lot of people and YouTubers in the world. I tend to ask a lot of people the same questions just because I'm curious to see what other people's thoughts and opinions are on them. Yeah, because, YouTubers, movie fans, we all have different opinions. And sometimes it's interesting to get the perspective. To give you an example, like I was reviewing Saw today, and I said in the review, I'm not the biggest Saw fan. It's not my franchise. I'm a Halloween guy. So sometimes it's kind of cool to get the perspective of somebody that's not like, if I'm looking for Halloween reviews, I kind of prefer to find those that from people that don't like the franchise, just to kind of keep me in check. Maybe this movie is bad and I just love it because I'm a fan of the franchise. So that's a good point, Bronson. And thank you, Yasamaru. Appreciate it. Yeah. Alan, he says, has anybody ever had somebody come up to you in a straight up state of fear and anxiety and ask you if you were an undercover? That just happened to me. No. There's a lot to unpack in that question, but luckily none of it's ever happened to me. That's good. Yeah. Chester, he says, Lee, what has been the worst movie of the year for you so far? I got my list here. I think, as far as I think there's different categories there. Like, the movie that's the toughest to watch would definitely be Skinamarink. Okay? I see the artistic value in it, but that artistic value could have been 20 minutes long, which I think it was a short anyway. It feels like it's way overly stretched and nothing happens. So I'm not buying it. But let me pull up my list here and I'll give you another answer. I always update my Letterboxd. And let me find my Letterboxd app. Jesus. Because it's not... Oh, yeah. Hold on. I think I can answer this without even looking at my Letterboxd. Probably the new Expendables. Jesus, that was horrible. The new Expendables is absolute garbage, gutter trash. It's just, it has no right to exist. And to make matters even worse, you're going to wait 9 years to put out a new movie. That movie should restart the franchise. It should be going guns blazing. It should be like Halloween 2018, if I'm being honest. Because Halloween 2018 came out, I think, 9 years since Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. And, man, like the movie or not, look at the money it made, right? Generally speaking, fans liked the movie, okay? So, Expendables, man, it's crazy. Let's bring this thing back, and then let's just make it die a fiery death as quick as possible. That's what happened. Brett, any Shudder movies from 2023 worth watching? Man, I tell you, I've been on a Tubi run lately. And usually when I watch Shudder, I tend to go for a lot of those classics, like the 60s, 70s, 80s. But I will say, what was the name of that movie where it was like an Airbnb type thing? You know what? Let me look it up for you real quick. There's a couple Shudder movies that I reviewed that were worth watching for sure. Let me go to my 2023 reviews and see. Hold on. 2023 reviews. It's the one, I'm trying to think, it's the one that's like an Airbnb movie. Damn it, did I pass? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Influencer was pretty good. I liked Influencer. I think that's about it for this year for Shudder. Now, I will say there's a lot that I haven't seen on Shudder this year. They put out a lot of new movies. I would say the guy to ask for that is Jason from Sinister Cinema. He reviews pretty much all the new stuff that you get on Shudder. So, but I did like Influencer. I thought Influencer was really good. Adrian James, Lee, are you going to see The Creator? Man, this is embarrassing. I had a press screening to go see The Creator on Thursday night. And I got home from work and I completely forgot. And I think the reason being is because I had like two or three other new release movies that I had to either watch or edit. And if you look back around like Thursday, Friday timeframe, I put out like 3 videos. Two of them, like one within the hour, and they were brand new releases. So I completely, and my buddy Dan, one of my critic buddies, he sent me a text saying, "Hey, we missed you at the Creator," and I was like, "Oh shit, how could I forget?" And I was really looking forward to checking out the movie. Gareth Edwards directed it, but I'm gonna try to go see it. I think it comes out next weekend, but I'm kicking myself for not seeing the movie. But on the other side of it, if I did go see that movie, then it would have been more work that I would have to do as far as like not being able to catch up on the reviews that I did put out. Man, I tell you how YouTube goes sometimes is you'll have like a dry spell where there's like nothing new to record, edit, put out. And then all of a sudden you'll have like freaking 5 movies that just hit you in the face. And you're like, shit, where do I start? And you got to figure out, your whole schedule and how to do it. And sometimes you're really stupid like me, and you're like, hey, I'll review all the Saw movies before next Thursday. Jesus. So if I'm able to succeed in that goal of all the Saw movies, that means I got to do 8 Saw movies. Now 7 because I put out Saw 2. I got to do 7 Saw movies by Thursday. Not happening. Not happening. But you know what? I do like a challenge. All right? I like a challenge. Because I could literally just get in front of the camera and talk for 10 minutes and just put out something that's kind of, I don't know if half-assed is the word, because the words out of my mouth are probably going to be the same, but I like to put together kind of a production when I put out my reviews, I like to give you the bells, the whistles, the sound effects, all that stuff, the intro. It's all important to me. And I tell myself sometimes, I'm like, you know what? I'll just do a quick little review and get it out there. But I never can do it. I never can do it. As soon as I sit down to review the movie, I have to get it all out. And then I have to edit it the right way I want to edit it, And sometimes I have to pause, and think about what I want to say. I do that. So, yeah. What do you think of John Carpenter's series coming out, Rosalia? I'm really looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Anytime Carpenter puts something out, there's no guarantee that it's going to be great, but it's still Carpenter, Even bad Carpenter has, you're still going to notice that those Carpenter isms about it. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Is he doing a movie or is he doing a TV? I think he's doing a TV series, right? Ozzy, no, I did not review all the Saw films. I've only reviewed the first Saw back in like 7 years ago. And I planned on reviewing more of them, but then I got sidetracked and I did other things. So I did do Spiral when that came out. And then that's it. Now I've done Saw 2. So yeah, this will be the first time. I'm not going to re-review anything. I'm not going to re-review the first movie. But yeah. SPC Unleashed. Thoughts on this statement? My phone's going off. What the hell? Let me see if I can turn this on. Is it still beeping? Yeah, I turned the sound off and it still beeps. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Let me fix this. Let's see if it does it now. Okay. Thoughts on this statement? Halloween Ends feels like a John Carpenter film. Yeah, definitely. Jesus. Hold on. Let me go into my settings here. I have an iPhone 6. Okay, guys? Don't judge me. And it's really got a mind of its own sometimes. Let's see. What if I do... Let's do... There we go. Did that do it? I think that did it. Okay. Yeah. Halloween Ends definitely feels... It's got some Carpenter isms about it, especially down to like the cinematography and all that. Yeah. Rosalia has a 7. The reason I got the 6, here's my 6, is because it has a headphone jack, which I really don't use the headphone jack as much as I thought I would. So it was kind of a mistake to get it, but it still works fine, So yeah. I got a couple news stories. Hold on. I got a couple news stories. All right. Let me pull up my news stories here. And let me close that out. We got a Halloween news story, guys. Here we go. Halloween official making of book releasing in October dives deep into David Gordon Green's trilogy. I am very curious about reading this book because, guys, wouldn't you love like an in-depth, kind of like what Rob Zombie did with his movies? He did that Halloween Lives. I would love an in-depth documentary on, not just those little featurettes, but like looking back, like a documentary on the whole trilogy, maybe in a couple years. Be really cool. But reading through this, David Gordon Green's Halloween trilogy came to an end last October with Halloween Ends, and now an official companion book is set to slice deep into the entire trilogy. Releasing on October 17th from Titan Books and author Abby Bernstein, the official making of the films. Halloween 2018 to 22, the official making of the films, reveals the method behind the terror. The official companion book features behind-the-scenes photography and interviews with cast and crew, and it promises to cover the making of the trilogy in fascinating detail. Ooh! The creative process behind the stunts, costumes, production design, and makeup effects are revealed through interviews and with the cast and crew, while captivating on-set photography captures the shooting of key scenes and action set pieces. A must for all horror fans, Halloween 2018 through 2022 reveals the method behind the terror. You can pre-order it now at Amazon. Here's the images. So here's a sneak peek at the images that are in the book. Wow, that's pretty cool. You can see because I'd love to see how they like put together that mask. So did they do the mask from God damn it, what's his name? From his face? James Jude Courtney. Yeah. I'm trying to see. That doesn't look the same, though. The one on the left, the gray one on the left to the one in the middle there. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I think they did form it around his face. But, man, that mask is one of the best things to come out of the trilogy, too. Wow. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to pick this up. I want to read it. Yeah, look at that, guys. Wow. A lot of cool imagery there. Oh, there's Laurie Strode's stunt double. Nice picture there of Laurie. Very, very exciting stuff. Wow. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting that. And have you guys also heard about Halloween Illustrated? There's a book. They're going to re-release the novel of the original movie that's been out of print for freaking decades. I think it's Curtis Hanson. But they're going to do a new like deluxe edition of that with like extra images and whatnot. And it's going to be called Halloween Illustrated. And I will definitely be looking out for that. Because I know they're going to have it at the H45, I believe. But yeah, that's something I'm definitely looking forward to. Bronson says, have you seen Larry Crown? Tom Hanks is in it. No, I haven't. I don't even think I've ever heard that. I'm a big Tom Hanks fan. So, Jake the Potato says, which horror movie icon would you want to be killed by if you had to pick? Well, I mean, of course it'd be Myers. Of course. Yeah. That's my guy, right? I think wouldn't that be the pick, guys? Like your favorite horror icon, that's the one you'd want to kill you in a movie, right? Yeah. Peace out, horror guy. Yeah. I got another news story here. One more, and then we're going to start the ranking. Okay, guys, stick around because you get to pick the movies that we're doing for the ranking. Okay. Bronson, what is your favorite Jackie Chan movie? Jesus. I like Rumble in the Bronx. I mean, I'm not like a massive... I mean, I love Jackie Chan. Who doesn't? But I just haven't seen all of his films. So, yeah. All right. Let me pull up the one last news story, and then we will get into the ranking, okay? Smile 2 headed for theaters. Let me make sure you guys are set up. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Smile 2. I just heard about this the other day. They're going to do a new Smile movie. I dug the first movie. I thought it was really good. Let me see. So 2024 Smile 2, an adaptation of his own short film, Laura Hasn't Slept. Parker Finn's Smile was a huge horror hit last year, and a sequel is on the way from Paramount next Halloween season. We've learned tonight that Smile 2 will hit theaters on October 18, 2024. Already got a date. Parker Finn signed a multi-year first-look deal with Paramount Pictures in the wake of Smile, striking it big at the box office, and a sequel to the film was the first order of business. Smile's breakthrough success is a testament to Parker's unique and fresh filmmaking, and we are thrilled that he will make Paramount his home. Parker knows how to keep people on the edge. So yeah, there's no news about what the story's going to be. Even if the story's written, they might have just given him a check based on, the success of the first movie. And, it's kind of like Halloween 2. When Carpenter did Halloween 2, he was given a check before he even wrote a word for Halloween 2. He said he didn't want to do another Halloween movie, but then he said they gave him, his words, the biggest check he'd ever seen in his life, and he couldn't say no. And so he had to write Halloween 2. So maybe that's what happened with Smile. Maybe there's no story written yet. Who knows? I think it's a story that is suitable for sequels, though, for sure. Just the idea of this curse and seeing these people with this weird freaking smile on their face, and wasn't the story like if the curse hits them and they smile, they only have like so long to live, kind of like The Ring, something like that. It's been a while since I saw it, but I like the movie. Funny enough, I remember when I reviewed that movie, we had a hurricane, and we had a massive power outage, and we were without power for, I think, like 3 or 4 days. And I just saw this movie, Smile, and I was like, damn, I'd like to record a review for the movie. And so I ended up recording the review. I just had like a candle, and I'm sitting in the dark in my kitchen, and I just like lit the candle in front of my face, and I just recorded the review like that. So, yeah, it was kind of unique. I put like a couple of like little electric candles behind me. So, yeah. Jake the Potato, I live in Florida. Orlando area. Love it down here. Although, man, I tell you, this time of year, guys, in Florida has been really nice. We're now starting to get into the fall season. It was nice and cool this morning. Went for a run this morning. It was like 73 degrees. I was like, wow, it's freaking awesome. Yeah, and I do live in the Halloween movie universe. I live in Haddonfield. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we did the Smile 2. And now, okay, guys, it's time. All right, so ground rules. Let me answer one more question. Ross J337, he says, Lee, which version of Michael Myers do you find the scariest? For me, it's easily Tyler Mane. That hospital sequence in H2 is great. Funny enough, I was watching H2 last night. You're right. Oh, my God. When he, Octavia, when he comes on Octavia in the hospital and he's doing like the grunts and everything, holy shit. Yeah, he's pretty damn scary in that movie. I don't think, here's the thing, when I'm looking at a Michael Myers, I'm always like, I'm looking at every little aspect, how they walk, how they look, how the mask is. I don't think he had the walk down like James Jude Courtney did. I was comparing his walk, and it's just kind of like a normal walk. Whereas James Jude Courtney, man, he really hits that glide perfectly. And I think it's because his torso, it's almost like he's just floating on the air, you know? Whereas when you watch Tyler Mane walk, there's a little bit of an up and down when he's walking, right? So, yeah. And, yeah, Tyler Mane's too big. That, and I think there is some truth to that. You don't want your Myers to be 7 feet. But James Jude Courtney, I think, is like, he's got to be like well over 6 feet, right? He's like 6, I think he's like 6'5". I don't know. Somebody look that up. How tall is James Jude Courtney? All right, James Jude Courtney. Okay. All right. Here is. Remember this, guys? Okay. Now let me. There we go. Random ranking. Okay. Guys, did you ever answer this? Do we want to do 12 movies or do we want to do 15? Do we want to do we want to do 15? Tell me right now, 12 or 15, okay? Ground rules, we're going to be ranking a movie from Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th, and Scream. Okay? 15? All right, we can do 15. Okay. So, here's how this is going to work. You are going to tell me, I wish I had like a pen and paper. It'd make it quicker. But I want you guys to tell me, pick any movie from those 4 franchises. And you know what? Don't just go for the obvious. Don't go for like Halloween 1, Scream 1. You can, yeah, we can put those on here. But what's a movie that you'd love to throw in a ranking, okay? I'd like to try to make it an even amount of movies per franchise. So out of 15, 4, so maybe 3 or 4 movies from each franchise, okay? So I'll let Brett start it off right there. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, we're going to put that one on the list. So, you know what? Hold on. We'll do it this way. And then I can transfer it, all right? So, okay. All right, so we got Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Okay, I'm just randomly looking. Scream 3. I wrote Screw 3 because it autocorrects. Nightmare 3, love it. Let's go Friday Part 2. Okay, well, no, we're not, Casey, we're not doing Saw, though, okay? We're only doing the big 3 plus Scream, all right? Elm Street 4. Okay, Friday 2009. I'll just put remake. Okay, let's see. Let's go Halloween 5. Halloween 5. Okay. Jason Takes Manhattan. Give me some more Scream, guys. I need some more Scream. Nightmare 2. I could do that. Nightmare 2. Scream 4. Scream 4. All right. Scream 4. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. How many we got here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we got 5 left. Let's see. Halloween 3. We could do that. Okay. Let's see. Halloween Ends. We could do Halloween Ends. Scream 6. Okay, let me see how many I got now. Of Scream, I got 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Nightmare, I got 1, 2, 3. Okay, Friday, I got 1, 2. No, I got more than that. I can't. No, I said, yeah, Friday remake. Hold on. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, so we're pretty even. All right. Let's see what I already put Scream 3 on there, Polly. Jason X. That's a good one. One more, guys. One more. This is it. Christian, what's up, brother? One more. Let's see. Do we want to do Nightmare 5? Yeah, let's do Nightmare 5, okay? Nightmare 5. That's a crazy one. Okay. All right, so give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna transfer this information to my little cheat sheet here so you guys can see it. All right, so get a snack or something. I need 2 minutes. I need 2 minutes. All right, guys? Here we go. Okay. Friday remake. Almost done, guys. Halloween 3. Oh, there it is. All right, we got it. There it is, guys. There it is. Okay, so we got Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Scream 3, Nightmare 3, Friday Part 2, Nightmare 4, the Friday remake, Halloween 5, Jason Takes Manhattan, Nightmare 2, Scream 4, Halloween 3, Halloween Ends, Scream 6, Jason X, and Nightmare 5. You picked them, guys. This is your ranking, all right? All right. So, Holly, what's up? How are you doing? Holly showed up just in time. She could sense it. Okay. Polly says, hey, Lee, can we add favorite Final Girls guys, please? Yeah, we could probably do that down the road for sure. That could be fun. I like letting you guys pick, right? It's just fun to do. It's fun to do. Okay, guys. We're going to go worst to best, okay? Worst to best. I will give you a red check next to the selection that I pick. I will be ranking these, but I like your participation too. So, out of that list, guys, which one do you think is the worst? And maybe I can make this a little bigger. me see. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. All right. Which one do you think is the worst? Let's see. Halloween 5, he says, Blu-ray Addict. Holly, can you read it now? Yeah. Can you read that, or do I need to make it bigger? Is that good? Yeah. Nightmare 5, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Halloween Ends. Couple for Halloween Ends already. Okay. What about doing a ranking of sex scenes? Chad. It's such a Chad thing to say. Okay. All right. Out of that list, I'm going to go, let's see. It's either Nightmare 5, Jason X. Man, this is tough. This is tough. Already, it's tough. Yeah, I'm going to go... You know what? I think I'm going to go Jason X. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to go Jason X. And let me put my little red marker here. Let me change that. Yeah, so Jason X, there it is. Save that. Okay. Just Jason X because I mean it knows what it is. But it's not good at all. It's really laughable. I have some fun with it. You know, I look at Jason X as pretty much a straight up comedy. You know, there's no tension whatsoever. And when I go into a Friday movie, I'm not looking for Jason X. And maybe that's why I rarely ever throw it in. You know, I like the camp setting, you know. I like it when they just kind of strip it down to the basics. Jason hunting victims, and you know there's some of that in there, but also there's this like promise of Uber Jason, and we see Uber Jason for a very short time. Okay, it does have one of the all-time greatest horror kills though. Funny enough, you know, with the cryo head smash. I can't take that away from it. I cannot ever take that away from it. Okay, guys. So, yeah, Jason X. Horror Guy says was better than Takes Manhattan. No, I don't know about that. And I used to be pretty down on Jason Takes Manhattan, but now I kind of I have a good time with it. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to move things over so I can get you guys up here. There we go. Yeah. Okay. All right. So out of that list, what's the next least favorite? So I already said, is it Nightmare 5? And I did like aspects. I like how batshit crazy Nightmare 5 is. It's got some really bonkers direction. Is it Nightmare 5? Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Nightmare 5. Going up this list. Is anything worse? Jason Takes Manhattan, Friday Remake, Nightmare 4. Yeah, I guess I gotta go Nightmare 5. So we're gonna mark that one. Yeah, it's just. I think it's just a little bit too out there. I think there's some really cool elements in there, but I don't think you should be exploring the child of Freddy. I don't know. It just. Maybe on paper it sounds good, but I will say the freaking direction is great. You know, at least they do keep your attention, and it does have some really cool kills. The motorcycle kill is great. Maybe that's what it is. Like the worse the movie, the better. You at least get one like amazing kill. So, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go Nightmare 5. Nightmare 5 for sure. It was nice to see Alice back though. You know, she's always cool. I think it starts off really strong, but then it just gets more and more bonkers, right? It's not the worst Nightmare movie, but it's close. Okay. Okay. So yeah, now we're down to 3 honorable mentions. Out of that list, guys, what do you think? What do you think? Horror Guy says Jason Takes Manhattan. Let's see. Let me go up the list here. Scream 6, Halloween Ends, Halloween 3, Scream 4, Nightmare 2. Those are solid. All those are solid. Jason Takes Manhattan, maybe. Halloween 5, Friday Remake, Nightmare 4, Friday Part 2. Hell no. That's Nightmare 3. Hell no. Ooh, it could be Scream 3, though. So it's either Scream 3 or Jason Takes Manhattan. You know what? Screw it. I might not be able to live with myself in the morning, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. All right. Which one do you guys think I did? All right. I did that one right there. I did Scream 3. Scream 3. And just because it's like one of my least watched Scream movies, I do have a decent time with it. I think it's a solid 3 out of 5 movie. It does have a really, really strong final act. You know, it's far from the worst final act. I'd say it's probably like top three or four final acts. So thank God for that final act, though. I call it the H2O final act, just because it takes place in the same location. But I don't know. It gets a little bit too convoluted in the plot too. I don't know if convoluted is the right word, but I don't know. It gets a little bit too Scooby-Doo, right? I mean, I'm not surprising anybody with that. I mean, Scream 3, I think it's gotten a big cult following along the way. It's grown on me over the years, but out of this list, I'd probably have to say Scream 3. You know? I'd probably have to say Scream 3. Okay? Yeah, Richard. Oh, boy. Scream 6 has a terrible final act. Terrible. Jesus, with the crazy Baileys. All right, guys, what's next? What's next? Let's see. We're down to 2 honorable mentions. You picked these, guys, all right? You should be proud of yourself or ashamed. I'm not sure yet. Okay? All right, so let me see. It could be Scream 6, or it could be Halloween 5, or it could be the Friday remake. Or it could be Nightmare 4. See, now we're getting now it's getting harder. Now it's getting harder. Or it could, yeah, okay, so it's between Nightmare 4, the Friday remake, Scream 6, or Halloween 5. Oh, Jesus. God. See, I want to say Halloween 5, guys, but I do love Halloween 5. I do. I know it's bad. You're right. I'm wrong, but man, there's something I like about that movie. You know, it doesn't help that that's my franchise. So, yeah, Megacat, you're not gonna like where Ends is. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Okay, and I do apologize. Jason Carpenter, what's up, brother? How you doing? Justin. All right. I can't put Halloween 5. It's my list. I got to be honest. I watch Halloween 5 a lot, so it can't be next, right? It can't be. So it's either Scream 6 or the Friday remake or I'll go with this one. I'll go with this one right here. All right. Here it is. That's the one. Nightmare 4, just because I don't watch it that often. It's got some really cool elements about it. I love the nightmare sequences, you know? I think it's a little bit psychedelic. I love the music. It's got great music. You know, Vinnie Vincent Invasion, people. You got Tuesday Night, that great song that she does. I think it's a decent Freddy. But this is where Freddy starts going a little bit overboard with the comedy. You know? So, but, you know, I mean, from here on out, guys, I'm liking all these movies. It's a fun movie. I have a good time with it. But, yeah, it's out of this list, it's going to be the 4th honorable mention. So now we're going to move to the final honorable mention. Okay? Holly, I like Halloween 4. I don't love it. I mean, I'm sorry. I freaking love Halloween 4. I like Elm Street 4. It does have some greatness about it. It does. Okay. Matter of fact, it was the highest grossing opening weekend of the franchise. Am I right on that, guys? I think so. Okay. All right. What do we got, guys? Dog piss is crazy. That's it. Maybe that's what it is. Chad gets it. It's the dog piss. I can't let that pass. Okay. Or piss. So I think that's what it is. It's the dog piss. Yeah. All right. Last one, last honorable mention, and then we're getting to the big top 10 that you picked, guys. You did a great job. I'm so proud of you. Okay. So it's either Scream 6 or Halloween 5. Scream 6 or Halloween 5. Jesus. Scream 6 or Halloween 5. All right. You know what? I got to be fair about this. I'll be fair. All right. I'll be fair. I know it's the right thing to do. You guys would be upset if I didn't do it, so I'll be fair. Psych! I zigged when I should have zagged. You didn't expect that, did you guys? Right? I put Halloween 5 over Scream 6. I just did that, guys. I just did that. I'm gonna go do a backflip right now because holy shit, I just put Halloween 5 over Scream 6. Should I delete my channel? Jesus. And here's the answer. Right? Okay? Here's the answer. Halloween 5 doesn't piss me off as much as Scream 6, okay? There are elements of Scream 6 that are probably far better than Halloween 5. But, man, that freaking plot armor drives me bonkers. The final act with the crazy Baileys. What the hell is that? It's one of, you ever watch a scene or an act in a movie and you don't even try to pick it apart, but the glaring issues just literally jump out at you. Okay, and you can't. You're like, what the hell is that? How in the hell did they gather all this evidence? You know, what is this movie? It was just. I think they had these big ideas, but they didn't know how to properly execute them. You know, he's a detective. He's been a detective for probably 30 years. And his son dies, and all of a sudden he's like, okay, now I have to be a serial killer. I don't know. It's just, it annoyed me. Okay, guys, it annoyed me. I couldn't deal with it, but yeah. So now we are in the top 10, and congratulations, guys, Halloween fans. Halloween 5 made it into the top 10. I didn't expect it, but it happened. It's your list. It's not mine. No, it's actually my list. You pick the choices, but yeah. Number 10 is Halloween 5. I have a blast with the movie. I really do. Every time I watch it, I'm freaking throwing popcorn in my mouth. I'm drinking soda. You know, I'm throwing chew toys at Levi. It's just a fun movie to watch. I'm laughing at the cops with the honks and the whistles and the woohoo, all that shit. You can't. Yeah, that's why. The reason I love Halloween 5 so much, Jason Carpenter, is because it's garbage. But it's taffy garbage. It tastes so good. It tastes so damn good. It's got the guy putting on. It's Myers is putting on a different mask in that movie that we've never seen ever in the franchise. And I'm not talking about the white mask. What is that mask that he puts on in the car when he's pissing off Tina? It's got the bump ba 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 ba. Not if I can help it. I mean, yeah, come on. It's great. It's really great. I love Halloween 5. It's got Michael crying. You're pissed off at Halloween Ends, and Halloween 5's got Michael crying. Jesus. Yeah. Cookie Woman. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like there's so many different fun elements about Halloween 5. You can't get enough of it. Tina's crazy out of her mind. Everybody loves Tina so much, guys, but here, okay, I'm going to rebut all of you right now. Every single one of you, I need an answer back, okay? Because you don't want to defend Tina so bad, you love her so much, but you're full of shit. You know why you're all full of shit? She left Jamie. Jamie is crying her eyes out, begging her to stay with her. She feels scared. She's unsafe. And what does Tina do? She's got to go to the barn dance. You know, because why? Because she's selfish. So, yeah, she did the right thing at the very end. But still, Rachel wouldn't have done that. Right? Yeah, okay. I love you guys. All right. Yeah, Nicholas says Tina gets an unfair shake. I think it's fair. Okay. The whole barn sequence is great and spooky. Yes, it is, Holly. Yes, it is. Very, very effective scene. There's some genuine scares in Halloween 5. I love, being serious here, okay? I love Loomis in Halloween 5. He's a little batshit crazy, but I love that scene where he's out in the woods and he's like, Michael, go home. That little interaction between... Anytime Loomis and Michael had some kind of interaction, I was just glued. I was always just glued. I love the final act, actually. That final act is balls to the wall. Really good. All right. Number 9, guys. Number 9. Let's recap what we got. We got Halloween Ends, Halloween 3, Scream 4, Nightmare 2. Did we not take Jason Takes Manhattan off yet? Did that one slip by me? Guys, am I right on that? Did we not pick Jason Takes Manhattan yet? Freaking sneaky little devil. Friday Part 2, Nightmare 3, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Wow, I guess so. I guess we got to go Jason Takes Manhattan. Jesus, how could I... Man, I got to watch that one. Jesus, slipped right by me. Yeah. Jason Takes Manhattan's fun, though. It is fun. It's, and I used to hate the movie. If you watch my review, I hated the movie. I didn't like it at all. But then I went back and watched it again. We were all in love with Friday. It was one of those Friday the 13th, the holiday. And I just felt like watching them all. And I found myself really enjoying Jason Takes Manhattan. I love that Jason dumps that old guy in the garbage can. It's just really fun stuff, And that movie went from like, say, a 2 out of 5 to like a 3.5 out of 5 for me. Yeah, it's silly fun, but I do have a really good time with it. So I do think it's a little better than Halloween 5. So I think it's in the right spot, if I'm being honest. I think it's number 9. It's got great music, It's got an electric guitar kill. He bashes the girl over the head with an electric guitar. How many slashers do that, You're going to get... He shows his face to a bunch of thugs on the streets of New York and freaks them out. It's great stuff. Great stuff. So, yeah. So now we're down to 8, I think. I think we got number 8. All right. So, here we go, guys. Now it's starting to get tough. All right. Now it's going to get tough. We got Halloween Ends, Halloween 3, Scream 4, Nightmare 2, Friday Part 2, Nightmare 3, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Holy shit, that is a tough list. Wow. Damn, that is a tough list. What do you guys say? Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Halloween 3. Like, I'm serious. Right now, I do not have an answer. Scream 4. Let's see. It's not Ends. It's maybe Halloween 3, maybe Scream 4. Wait, I know what it is. And you probably do too, because where I stopped. Yeah, I know where it is. It is that right there. Okay. Yeah, it's the Friday remake. I just, I don't really care for the characters in the Friday remake. I think Jason's awesome. There's a lot of great stuff in the Friday remake, all right? And I think I have been too hard on it in the past, but I still get really annoyed with not all, but some of the characters in the movie. Of course, Trent. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's hard for me to explain why I hate Trent so much, because he's doing what he's supposed to do, and but I guess I get annoyed with him on my screen. I get annoyed. I can't enjoy this, and it's not just him. It's the other 2 silly characters that constantly take his shit. They're annoying too. So, but overall, guys, I know it sounds like I'm really shitting on that movie, but hey, it's number 8, I think. It's still fun. It's got some. I don't think it has the best kills if you compare it to Friday kills. Like, Friday is legendary for the kills. I'm trying to... Guys, is there a really great kill that's unique and on its own in that movie that doesn't kind of copy or upgrade a different kill in the franchise, I can't think of one, if I'm being honest. So, I mean, they're standard kills. They're not bad, but yeah. Yeah, Bree's a nice addition, though. She definitely balances it out for sure. Yeah. So, the damn horse. Okay. All right. So, now we're down to, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. Okay, so we got 7 left, guys. Halloween Ends, Halloween 3, Scream 4, Nightmare 2, Friday Part 2, Nightmare 3, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Ooh, this is tough. I guess I'm going to go, I'll go here. Yeah. So I will go Scream 4. Scream 4. And I think the one thing that knocks Scream 4 down is the damn cinematography. As shallow as that is, the whole movie looks like it's lit under a yellow light. It's weird. And sometimes that stuff, you know, the superficial stuff can kind of annoy you as you're watching the movie. It's almost like imagine watching an entire movie that's out of focus. You ever watch like a YouTube video or something like that? And I've done it before. And the subject is out of focus and it just takes away from it. Not that this movie's out of focus, but it might as well be because the color in it is just very artificial looking, very strange looking. I wonder if there's an actual, like a raw edit master copy of Scream 4 that actually looks like the other Scream movies. Wouldn't that be awesome if they were able to like reproduce that? Because that annoys me. It does have one of the best final acts. I loved Jill as a character. You got freaking Kirby in there. There is some really great stuff in Scream 4. I'd say it's arguably one of the bloodiest Scream movies. Would you guys agree with that? But the movie, I still really enjoy the movie, okay? I mean, how many Scream movies we got left? We got that one. Yeah, so of this list, it's the best Scream movie. So not too shabby, right, guys? Not too shabby. We just didn't put more Scream movies on the list. So, yeah, there we go. There we go. I'll take yellow lighting over the damn horse. What if it had just a horse in the center of the screen throughout the entire movie? Oh, God. That's great. How the fuck is H3 better? Richard says, because it is. There you go. It's a fact. Okay. 6 more to go. All right. We got Halloween Ends, Halloween 3, Nightmare 2, Friday Part 2, Nightmare 3, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Jesus. I guess I'll go Halloween 3. And that's tough. That's tough to put because I can't really give you anything bad about Halloween 3. I watch it every single year. It's got Tom Atkins. It's freaking amazing. Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe, guys, let me ask you this. For Halloween 3, what would be the worst part about it? Would you agree that maybe the final act is almost kind of like outside of the stop it at the end? Everything before the final act is better than the final act. Am I wrong on that or am I right? You know? Because I will admit, there have been times when I watched Halloween 3 and I just kind of shut it off after the first 2 acts. Not that I hate the final act, but I feel like I've gotten my fill of what I need out of that movie. So, most of the time though, I watch the whole thing. But, well, I will say when I didn't like Halloween 3 way back in the day when it first came out, and I didn't like, everybody hated it. The reason I ended up turning it off was because, you know, the final act. I was just like, where in the hell is this movie going? But now I love it all. I do. I love it all. Okay. Silver Shamrock song, that damn song. I like the Silver Shamrock song. Yeah. Okay. So what do we got? 5? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn, guys, we got 5 left. 5 left. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, Nightmare 3, Friday Part 2. Jesus, this is going to be tough. All right, I'll go with this one. I'll go with this one. I'm going to go with Nightmare 2. Nightmare 2. And I'll say this right now, guys. From here on out, we're almost in perfection land. All right. And I know there's no such thing as a perfect movie, but man, we are like every one of these movies, including Nightmare 2, it's total bliss for me. I'm enjoying every second of it. I can't get enough of it. I could sometimes even watch it again the next day. All of these movies. So yeah, Nightmare 2 is the best version of the character of Freddy Krueger that's ever existed. Freddy is scarier in Nightmare 2 than ever. I love that he's toying with Jesse, which, guys, by the way, you can kind of compare Jesse to Corey. Am I right on that, guys? I think it's a very similar type of character. He's not a popular kid. He's down on his luck. I think the only difference is that he's having all the horrible shit happen to him during the movie, whereas Corey had well, actually, no, right at the beginning of the movie, that's where the horrible thing happens to him. So you can kind of compare the two characters. But, yeah, Nightmare 2, I think it stands apart from the rest of the franchise. It's very unique, and I love that about it, you know? It feels completely different than pretty much all the other Nightmare movies. It's got the gay bar scene. It's the gayest horror movie in existence. But I love it. I love that movie to death. You know? So, yeah. So now, guys, we're rolling through this. It is on a pedestal, Holly. Okay. Guys, some of you are angry right now because I haven't put Halloween Ends on here yet, but it's my list, damn it. All right. So here we go. We got Halloween Ends, Friday Part 2, Nightmare 3, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. What do you think, guys? Whew. I can tell you, I got it narrowed down to 2. Let me take a drink. I'm getting a peanut butter and jelly sandwich after this. Horror guy, just because I like it to be interactive. And sometimes you guys can influence me a little bit, you know? I don't know. I mean, do you guys like that I ask you your opinion? Or do you want me to just tell you mine? Maybe you do. I don't know. I like to get you guys involved. It's fun for me, right? This is tough. This is really, really tough. I'm going to go. You know what? I'll go this route. All right, there you go, guys. Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends is number 4. Halloween Ends is number 4 out of this list. You know, I can't put it at number 1. Those are the greats. You know, everything from here on out are the greats of horror. Okay? Yes, even Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I love that movie to death. Okay? Just watched it again last night. Halloween Ends, I'll even say this. It's not a perfect movie. I think there are some issues in the movie. I do think those issues are corrected in the novelization. I will say that. But that's not fair to say. It's not fair to say a movie's great because of a novelization. So I think the movie, you spend all this time building up Corey as a character, and you love this journey, and then boom, he's dead. You know, that did feel a little bit too abrupt. And I haven't gotten to that part in the novelization, but I'm sure it's probably going to flesh that out a little bit better, I think. But other than that, man, I freaking love the movie to death. I don't know. It just gets my heart. It gets my emotion, you know? It's probably one of the most emotional Halloween movies, and I love that about it. And dare I say, even I love Myers. You know, that last scene with Laurie and Myers after the fight is over, and she's having that moment with him on the table, and she's holding his hand. There's a little bit something there between the two, you know, that I didn't really notice the first time I watched it. There's a little bit of beauty. The way it's directed to, where you see the reflection in the blood of her holding his hand. That line where she tells him, you know, I've ran from you. I've hunted you. I thought you were the boogeyman. But now you're just a man who's about to die, who's about to stop breathing, you know? Yeah. There's some really great stuff in Halloween Ends that I freaking love. And I hope the people that don't like the movie, I never try to push movies on people, but I'd love it if you guys come around to it and see what I'm seeing in it. I don't know. Sometimes you can't. Maybe sometimes it's just like sometimes I can't see the stuff that you guys might see. Some of you might love the Prom Night remake, and I hate the Prom Night remake, and I'm probably never going to come around to it. That's the beauty of movies, right? Okay. So now we got Friday Part 2, Nightmare 3, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. If you told me that Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 would be in the top 3 of this countdown, I probably would have told you you're crazy. But here we are. So, but yeah, it did it. So, I will happily applaud it and put it at number 3. I think this movie, I don't know if it's misunderstood because you get what they're going for, but it's a flavor. Rob Zombie is very hard-edged in this movie. I would even dare say this might be one of his most hard-edged movies. And that's part of what I love about it. I do love, this is kind of the opposite of Scream 4. The cinematography in this movie is flat out gorgeous. Just insanely gorgeous. I love Laurie Strode in this movie and how they're dealing with her life after trauma, dealing with her own trauma. It's a very unique slasher, if I'm being honest. Very unique slasher, but it's not for everybody. I definitely think that. But man, I love the movie to death. Every time I watch it, I enjoy the hell out of it. I think the hospital opening is super creepy, and one thing I love about it too is you don't hear the Halloween theme in that movie at all, except for in the end credits. I think that's the only time you hear the Halloween theme, and that's Rob Zombie said that's because he originally wanted to put the theme in there, but he honestly couldn't find a good space for it. So he decided, you know what? If it doesn't belong, I'm not going to put it in there. So, and I've heard, shout out to Nick from the Lost River Drive-In. He did a video on this, but I've heard that there is an 8-hour documentary it's put to bed. It's in the tank, but they can't release it because of rights or whatever. And that just breaks my freaking heart because, oh my God, if I could get, like, guys, let me ask you this. If you could get a full-on documentary of any horror movie, what would it be? That, like, that doesn't really exist. Yeah, there might be like a mini little featurette or something like that, but if you could, like, really dive into the backstory of a certain movie and just get, brand new interviews with actors and, like what he did with Michael Lives, that documentary from Rob Zombie's Halloween, man, that is one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. So, yeah, hopefully one day it can get released. We'll see. But yeah, he definitely hated the experience. That's the thing too. Like if I'm like, let me give you an example. When I bought the Alien quadrilogy box set back in the day, one was because I knew that there were going to be brand new documentaries for all 4 movies. But the documentary that I wanted to watch the most was the one on Alien 3. And that movie's far from as good as the first 2 movies. But the drama that went on behind the scenes, oh my God, I wanted to watch every nugget of that I possibly could. So can you imagine the drama behind the scenes on this movie, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2? Oh my God, I would eat it up. I would savor every morsel, okay? Yes, Rosalia, I watched his entire interview with Joe Rogan. Really great stuff. As a matter of fact, I used a clip from that in my documentary that I did for the Halloween franchise that I released. Was it last year? It might have been last year that I released it. I can't remember. It's down now. I took it down because of what happened to Scream. I don't want to get another strike. So I still have it. If you're a patron, then you have access to it. I'll just say that. But yeah, I don't want to get another strike, so I took it down. But God, boy, it broke my heart. I put 3 months of work each into both those documentaries. 3 freaking months. I mean, and that's not just like working on it once a week. That's every freaking day. I would get up at like 5 in the morning, and I would edit until I had to get ready to go to work, and then I'd work on it late at night. Ugh. So it broke my heart when I got the freaking strike on that. I was like, but that, that's you play the game. Sometimes that happens, right? So, yeah. It pains me though, because when you work so hard on something, you want the masses to be able to see it. And that freaking Scream documentary, before I had to take it down, that thing had 30,000 views. It was doing really well. I was getting so much praise on that thing, and it just made me feel good. You work so hard on something, it makes you feel good when people love it. So, guys, we got 2 left. We got Nightmare 3 and Friday Part 2. What do you think? Tell me right now, what's the better movie? What's number 1 on this list? Is it Nightmare 3 or Friday Part 2? Nightmare 3 or Friday Part 2? Okay. I know my answer. I'm waiting on yours. Thank you, Tara. I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, Richard. Yep. Okay, here we go. Make sure I put the right one. Okay, number 2 is Friday Part 2. For the longest time, Friday Part 2 was it was my favorite Friday movie. And then it switched to Friday 4. And I think Friday 4 will always be my favorite Friday movie. But for a time there, it was Friday Part 2. Just because I think Jenny, of course, Amy Steele is like the greatest, one of the greatest final girls ever. The shock of Jason jumping through the window, and I think this is the scariest version of Jason, of unmasked Jason, with the long hair and that mangled looking face. I remember when I was a kid, that freaked me out. He was scary looking. I'd say his face in Friday Part 3 is equally as ugly. But I'd say I got to give the edge to Friday Part 2 as far as ugly looking Jason. Jesus. And him just coming through that window. To me, that's one of the greatest jump scares of all time. Right, guys? Chris, what's up, brother? It really is one of the greatest jump scares of all time. I don't think ever to be beaten. It just freaking and I think it even beats the first movie when Jason jumps out of the water. That might be unfair to say because it's a similar type of scare, but hey, it's still scarier. I think the pacing is perfect. Thank you, Casey. Yes, love the pacing of Friday Part 2. There's not a dull moment in the movie. I'll even say this too. For as much love as Halloween 2 has been getting over the past few years, I still maintain the pacing is the problem with that movie. It's slow in the middle. Friday Part 2, man, it just never lets up because it's summer. You love those characters so much. They had the balls to kill a guy in a wheelchair. It's just crazy shit in that movie that I love to death. I love Friday Part 2. So, now I will say this. And just for fun, let me know, guys, if Friday Part 4 was on this list, which one would you say is better? Would you say Nightmare 3 or Friday Part 4? Because I don't have an answer for that. It's that close. Friday Part 4 or Nightmare 3? You answer this. Let me know, guys, okay? Chris says, there's things I like about it. He's talking about Halloween 2, I'm thinking. It's not the worst, but nothing happens. Yeah, in the middle, there's a dry spot for sure. Big dry spot, okay? Friday 4, Nightmare 3. It's close. See, look at how close that is. Friday 4. Yeah, I mean, Friday 4, I've said this before. Pound for pound, the greatest slasher movie ever created in my mind is Friday Part 4. Pound for pound. You got perfect pacing. You got a perfect Jason, my favorite Jason, Ted White. You got the chicks are like on point in that one. There's the perfect amount of nudity. You got the old computer. You got Ted and Jimmy. Is it Ted and Jimmy? I mean, you got the freaking Crispin Glover dance. It's just perfection. There's nothing that will ever beat Friday Part 4, greatest slasher movie ever created. Even though I think I put Halloween, but for fun, like just fun kills and whatnot, it's Friday Part 4. It's got to be, right? For, if you want to get highbrow and talk about cinema and, a great directed movie, yeah, it's Halloween. But the first Halloween. But as far as just freaking popcorn slasher movie, balls to the wall, checks every box and then adds 3 more boxes. It's Friday 4. It's Friday 4. So, but on this list, number 1 is Nightmare 3. Nightmare 3. Matter of fact, I'll put a little, so that way, little asterisk next to it. There you go. Yeah. It is, it looks like it's next to Scream 3, but it's actually Nightmare 3. But I'll leave it like that, so that way when I put it on the thumbnail, people will think I'm saying Scream 3 is the best slasher movie out of that list, and they'll want to admit me to an insane asylum. Yeah. I mean, a freaking Nightmare 3. Like everything I just said about Friday Part 4 applies to Nightmare 3 pretty much, right, guys? It's. I think I'd even say this, and this might be controversial, but is Nightmare 3 better than Nightmare 1? It might. I don't know. It might. I will say this. There's aspects to Nightmare 1 that are better than 3. I think Freddy's a little better. I think Freddy's better in smaller doses, if I'm being honest. I don't think you need too much Freddy in a movie. But yeah, I mean, just again, pound for pound. You got great freaking nightmare sequences. You got the Dream Warriors cast who are freaking awesome. You got Horror Guy who hates my list, but he's still having a blast. You got the puppeteer scene, which is one of my all-time favorite nightmares. Yeah. A Nightmare on Elm Street 84 should have been perfect those last 5 to 10 minutes. Well, when he pulls the mother through the window, I think they could have just cut that scene out, if I'm being honest, at the very end. And that's what they wanted to do, but Bob Shea, he wanted to add the scene. He wanted it to end with, I guess, one last, like a chance for Freddy to come back. That's what he did, because you don't want to kill your cash cow, right? But even if you kill your cash cow, you can still bring him back, right? But Chad, I agree. Though I don't agree. I prefer Nightmare 3, but Nightmare 1 is really dark. And if I want to watch, a really dark version of Freddy, because Nightmare 3, I think Freddy's he's got one leg in the dark and one leg in the comedy type stuff. It's got the perfect balance, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. Damn, guys, this was so freaking fun. This was so damn fun. Had a blast going through these with you guys. Did you guys enjoy this? Is this something that you would like more of? Maybe I can get ideas from you guys down the road. But, it's funny. I was going to do the random ranking, but right at the last minute, because of that thumbnail, because that's an older thumbnail that I used a couple years ago. And I was like, hey, I'll just put live horror hang on it. And I was looking at that thumbnail. I was like, oh, wait, hold on. If I'm doing my random ranking tonight, maybe I should do it with the big 3 plus Scream, right? And I think it was fun. I think it was really fun. So keeps you guys interactive. I like that. I like my audience to have fun, to be able to speak their mind, and it's good. Matt says the worst horror slasher ever. I've done worst horror movies of all time list. Let me see. Let me think. Hold on. Worst slasher ever that I've seen. Oh, it's easy answer. Easy answer for me. Seed of Chucky. I can't. I hate that movie. Seed of Chucky. There's my answer. Right. Where did Halloween 3 get placed? Wasn't Halloween 3 like number 7 or number 8, something like that? It was around that area, Trina. It did pretty well. It fared pretty well, for sure. Blu-ray Addict says, better soundtrack, Dream Warriors or Jason Lives? Jason Lives. Man, that's a tough one. I'm going to go Dream Warriors, even though Jason Lives does have a really good soundtrack. But if I got to put Dokken up against the Alice Cooper song, definitely Dokken. That freaking song is so damn good. That's like it's not just a damn good soundtrack song, it's a damn good Dokken song, you know? That horror guy, did you see Saw X or Pet Sematary Bloodline? No, I've been trying to get a screening for Saw X, but there's no screenings going out, which is not a good sign, because usually when you feel confident about your movie, then you want critics to see it. So if you're avoiding like the plague critics seeing your movie, then plus it's Saw. It's horror fans might love the movie, but Joe Sixpack, that's going to be weird for him, right? He's going to be like, what the hell is this? So, worst Jump the Shark sequels ever list. That could be a fun one. When you think Jump the Shark, you definitely can think about Nightmare, because, guys, what movie did Freddy jump the shark? And that might not necessarily mean when he went full on comedy, although that might play a part. But I'd say Freddy's Dead. Nightmare 5 is still a Freddy movie. It's still a good Freddy movie. Freddy's Dead is it's like way too silly, Does Halloween ever really jump the shark? I think Resurrection is where it jumped the shark, but then they corrected themselves pretty swiftly, That's one good thing about the Halloween franchise is I think they're self-aware and they know when they went too far. And so then they say, okay, now we got to reset, which might not mean reboot, but we got to make a drastic change, And I think that's why some franchises peter out. Like, you can arguably say that the Nightmare franchise kind of petered out. It never jumped back on the horse, right? Or the white horse. Halloween jumped on the horse and the white horse. So, what about Friday? Did Friday jump back? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people like the remake. Let me see. What else we got? What did I do here? Damn it. There we go. Okay, hold on. Okay. Most hateable versus most lovable characters would be fun. Yeah, that could be good. We could do a more like character-based top 10. We could do Final Girls. That'd be cool. One thing I've noticed from watching a lot of these deep cut movies is there are some Final Girls that need their heyday, that need a moment in the sun, that are lost in time pretty much. That's another reason why I like to review these deep cut movies, because you can find some good characters in those movies, And also, one thing I've noticed too is through watching a few of these deep cut movies is every now and then, and guys, tell me if you can think of this. Every now and then they kill off the final girl at the end of the movie. It doesn't count like if they kill them off at the beginning of the next movie, like Alice. No. If a horror movie has the balls to kill off the final girl at the end of the movie that they're in, then to me that's kind of crazy. And I've reviewed a couple. I won't say the names of them because they're deep cuts and you probably haven't seen them. But can you guys think? I'll let you say it. Can you guys think of any horror movie where they killed off the final girl? They do that in Texas. Texas Chainsaw the Beginning. Yeah, they did do it in the Texas Chainsaw the Beginning. I was going to say they didn't do it in the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but they did drive her crazy. I forgot that they killed her off in the beginning. Chester says, Lee, if you mash up two Halloween themes together, what two themes could it be? For me, Halloween 1 and 281 thing. Well, Chester, it's funny you mentioned that because that's literally what they did in H2. If you watch the documentary, they do state that they kind of married the two together to give it more that synth theme, but they're pretty much using the same cues from the first Halloween. So, to go kind of against the grain on that, you could look at like Halloween 6. The score for the producer's cut is more traditional, whereas the score for the theatrical cut, it's more of like a pulse pounding, modern day rock sounding type score. And usually I would go for the traditional, but in this case, I actually prefer the more rock sounding score of Halloween 6. Am I wrong, guys? What do you guys think? Do you prefer the rock sounding score of 6? I just think it suits the tone of the movie better, from being honest. You know? Yeah. Oh God, guys, this was so fun. I think I'm gonna hang it up here. But this was really, really fun. Loved hanging out with you guys. I love doing these rankings, and I hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm seeing a lot of your images of you going to like horror cons. Are any of you guys going to any upcoming horror conventions? I'm going to be at the Spooky Empire at the end of October. I'm not going to get the chance to go to H45. I don't have the leave saved up from work really to go do it. And I don't want to get the plane ticket and all that. But luckily, I think there's like 5 or 6 or 7 of the Halloween alumni coming, including 2 from the original movie, coming to Spooky Empire. So I'll be there I'm going to try Saturday, but it might be Sunday. I'll let you guys know. I would love to meet you guys though. If you run into me, definitely say hello. But yeah, I'm going to hang it up for tonight. Take care of each other. Love my horror family. I think the horror community is the best community in the world. And I really mean that. Love you guys to death.